Welcome to Megami May. This is a compilation of all 31 shorts that I've uploaded over the course of the month. There will be some differences in audio quality, as these were recorded over the course of a month, and the audio settings were being figured out and changed throughout. With the intro done, let us begin. Ame no Uzume is a kami in Japanese mythology, associated with the dawn, mirth, and ritual performance. She's typically one of the lowest level demons in the Megami race, so she's usually a very early game demon. Her most well-known story is when she did a striptease to lure the goddess Amaterasu out of a cave to restore the sun. In the original Shin Megami Tensei, unique artwork was made for her, but her sprite is an altered version of Kanari, in all versions except the Mega CD. Her sprite work in Shin Megami Tensei 2, If, and Majin Tensei would use her original design. This design would also get a 3D model in Shin Megami Tensei 9, and she would get new designs in Majin Tensei 2, Rond, Megami Iban Roku Persona, Devil Children, Giten Megami Tensei, and Nocturne. Her Giten Megami Tensei design was originally meant for Amaterasu, but for an unknown reason, the design was switched to Ame no Uzume. This is one of the most interesting goddesses in the series. Which design is your favorite? I'm personally happy with her main design that's been used since Nocturne, but I'm open to them trying something new or old. Kushinada Hime is the daughter of two lesser gods of the Kanitsu, and is a fertility and goddess of rice? She would later become the wife of the god of storms Susanoo after he killed Yamato no Orochi for her. Kushinada Hime started off as a Kokiri Hime recolor all the way up until SMT3 Nocturne, where she now has her iconic design referencing back to how Susanoo turned her into a comb to keep her safe in his hair. It's kinda sad that she's only had one design of her own, but I think they nailed it. So, it's okay if she only has the one to herself, even if it still looks like Kokiri Hime. Kokiri Hime no Makoto means Princess Ceranthium. Ceranthium is a symbolic flower and associated with limitation at death in East Asian cultures. Legend has it that she mediated between Izanagi and Izanami after their confrontation in Yomi. She's also been known as the goddess of matchmaking, love, and marriage since ancient times. She is the shrine goddess of Hakusan Hibai Shrine in Ikasawa, Japan, where she has been revered for centuries as the mother goddess of life. Her first appearance in the Megami Tensei franchise was in Megami Tensei 2, where she was a robed woman. She would later then get an updated design in Shin Megami Tensei 1, and this design would be used in many games to come, such as Shin Megami Tensei 1, 2, If, and Majin Tensei. It would even get a 3D model in Shin Megami Tensei 9. Her design in Giten Megami Tensei would be a recolor of Ame no Uzume, and in Giten Megami Tensei, she is a hidden boss fight in one of the healing springs. In Shin Megami Tensei 3, she was given her redesign that is now the one used commonly today. Cosmo Kaneko states that he gave her the darker skin tone to reflect her connections to the underworld, and that her color palette is a parody of the Powerpuff Girls. You can't make this stuff up. Sarasvati, also known as Saraswati, is the Hindu goddess of all knowledge. Her domains include relation, learning, music, speech, and the arts. Her name means the one who flows in Sanskrit, but it derives from her status as an incarnation of the Sarasvati River, as one of the three sacred rivers in India. For this reason, she is also known as the goddess of water and good harvests. Born from the body of the creator Brahma, Sarasvati was so beautiful that Brahma wanted her for his own wife, but Sarasvati refused him. However, Brahma created 4 faces to surround Sarasvati, and one above her with 6 eyes that all pressured her as she fled. At last, she relented and became his wife. Sarasvati, with the goddesses Lakshmi and Parvati, formed the Trideva, who are the consorts of the male trinity, the Trimurti, consisting of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, respectively. Sarasvati's children are the Vedas. In the Megami Tensei franchise, Sarasvati's first appearance was in Shin Megami Tensei 1, where she was a recolor of Lakshmi. But in Shin Megami Tensei 2, she did receive her own design. Curiously, her recolored design was used in Majin Tensei 1, but her updated design was used in Majin Tensei 2. This design would then get a 3D model in Shin Megami Tensei 9. Even then, she would get 2 new designs in the Persona 2 duology, but like a lot of other demons, she now has her iconic design from Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. The design she was given in SMT3 has become her design that she has used ever since then. It fits her perfectly by paying homage to her domain of music, and it still fits in with the other Trivedi. Lakshmi, the Hindu goddess of fame, riches, beauty, and luck, is one of the loveliest demons who has all of it. She is the wife of Vishnu as well as the mother of Kama. She is said to embody the ideal woman and is said to have charmed many gods with her dances. Lakshmi stands atop of a red lotus wearing a robe of lotuses with a lotus in her left hand. A lot of lotuses. She is also one of the Trivedi, which consists of Lakshmi, Parvati, and Sarasvati. And she is even an extra deity in the 7 lucky gods. She is believed to be one of the things that rose from the oceans after the churning of the Sea of Milk. She is also known as the goddess of farming and called Keshoten in Buddhism. Lakshmi has been a part of the series since the very beginning. In Megami Tensei 1, she had an interesting design due to console limitations that was redone in Kyoyaku Megami Tensei. But in Megami Tensei 2, she got an updated design with updated artwork. In Shin Megami Tensei 1, she was given a new design that was used on all of the Super Nintendo games. The last Bible series had a unique design for Lakshmi, depicting her as a fairy across all the games besides Last Bible 3 and the Game Gear version of Last Bible 1. She would also get unique designs in Ron, Devil Children, and all 3 of the old Persona games. But in Devil Summoner, she obtained her now iconic design, albeit with an ugly color palette that would soon be remedied in Soul Hackers. From that point forward, this was her go-to design. Even though it isn't the most accurate to some of the descriptions, it's still an amazing design that I'm happy to see. The Norns are female figures from Norse culture that decide the fates of all beings, including the gods. Most Norns appearing in tales are nameless, but the 3 most important of the Norns are Erd, Verdani, and Skald. These 3 are said to live near the lake under the roots of Yggdrasil, the World Tree. They draw water from the well and take sand that lies around it, which they pour over the Yggdrasil tree so that its branches do not rot. These 3 main Norns are described as powerful maiden giantesses. Norns are heavily associated with death, but also with childbirth. Their roles during a birth is to appear and give the newborn their fate and potentially take the mother's life. If everything went well during childbirth, an offering of porridge would be given to the Norns as thanks. Once a Norn has decreed death, it is unavoidable, and tragedies are often blamed on evil Norns. Fafnir explains there are 3 kinds of Norns: those who descend from Erse, those who descend from elves, and those who descended from dwarfs. The 3 named Norns, Erd, Verdandi, and Skald, first appeared in the Sega CD version of Shin Megami Tensei 1, and they would all appear in the Game Boy Advance version of Shin Megami Tensei 2. Erd would have a standalone appearance in Giten Megami Tensei. All 3 of them would make an appearance in Last Bible 3, Rond, and the 3 original Persona games. Persona 2 Eternal Punishment was the last game that these 3 Norns appeared in. The demon Norn that most Megami Tensei fans know made their first appearance in Shin Megami Tensei If, with a very different design. Their second appearance was in Devil Children, with the other 3 named Norns playing a part in the story of those games. Norn's now iconic design was given to them in Soul Hackers 1, becoming the only Norn being used in the series from this point moving forward. Anirod is a female figure from Welsh mythology, who plays an important role in the 4th branch of Magiogian, A Welsh goddess of the moon, also known as Arian Ferrado, Arian meaning silver and Ferrado means wheel, her wheel was said to be used to ferry the dead to the afterlife. The moon symbolizes death and regeneration, which is why she is also highly worshipped as the goddess of rebirth. There are some who hold festivities in the full moon to praise her. She first appeared in Shin Megami Tensei 2, getting her now main design. Like many other demons, she did get a new design in Devil Children, and also obtained 3 new looks in the first 3 Persona games. Her only recent appearance has been in DX2 as a 3-star demon, and that is her most notable appearance to date. Freya is a Norse goddess, portrayed to be the goddess of love, beauty, and fertility. Blonde, blue-eyed, and beautiful, Freya is described as the fairest of all of the goddesses, and people prayed to her for happiness and love. She also was called on to assist in childbirths and prayed to for good seasons. Freya was also associated with war, battle, death, magic, prophecy, and wealth. She rules over Folkvangr, where half of those who die in battle go to, while the other half go to Odin's Valhalla. Freya's origins are uncertain, having no parallels amongst other Germanic-speaking peoples. Her track record in the Megami Tensei series is a little bit rocky, with her appearances in Shin Megami Tensei 2 and If being a recolor. But in Shin Megami Tensei 9 and Imagine, they used it as her distinct design. She did get original designs in Giten Megami Tensei, Last Bible 3, Majin Tensei 2, Rond, and Devil Children. Her biggest appearance in the series is in Persona 5 Royal, as an ultimate persona, which I personally think is the best design she's had, but let me know what you think. Parvati is the Hindu goddess of fertility, love, beauty, harmony, marriage, children, and devotion, as well as the divine strength and power. This is a beautiful goddess who is also the second consort of Shiva in Hindu mythology. A mountain princess, she is a reincarnation of the goddess Skadi, Shiva's first consort, and won Shiva's love in her previous life. Reborn as Parvati, daughter of the snow mountain god Himalayas, she sought Shiva out because the gods required Shiva's offspring to defeat their fierce adversaries. They sacrificed Kama in order to stoke Shiva's suppressed desire for a female partner. The two eventually reunited and gave birth to Kartikeya and later on Ganesha. They have the ability to merge into the half-male, half-female Adharta. Parvati's first appearance in the series was in Shin Megami Tensei 2, where she got her own unique design and sprite. The design would also be used in SMT If. She would make an appearance in SMT 9 as a Lakishmi recolor. She would get a new design in Majin Tensei 2 and have 2 different sprites in the Persona 2 duology. Her current design was given to her in Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, which is used to this day. Hathor was the consort of Horus in ancient Egyptian religion. She was believed to help the souls of the dead depart across into the afterlife, with iconography associating her with cattle. Traditionally depicted as a woman with long cow horns and a sun disk between them, with thick, shoulder-length hair tucked behind her ears, which in some depictions are bovine. Originally a sky deity, she became associated with the sun, and by proxy the god Ra, being among gods that accompanied Ra. She was also identified as an Eye of Ra, serving as both Ra's feminine aspect and his protector. When humanity turned away from Ra and rebelled against him, Ra sent Hathor in the form of Sekhmet to punish them for their hubris. Her first appearance in the series was in Shin Megami Tensei If, where she got a unique design, but only got sprites. She would then get unique designs in all 3 of the original Persona games, bearing some resemblance to her first design. The design that is now commonly used was first introduced in the Shin Megami Tensei 9 title, obtaining a model in the same game. More recently, her original design was given official artwork in Shin Megami Tensei DX2. Her original design is the one I prefer, but let me know what you all think. Scathach, also known as the Shadowy One, is a legendary figure in the Ulster cycle of Irish mythology. She is a legendary Scottish warrior and martial arts teacher who trains the legendary Ulster hero Cuchulainn in the arts of combat. She has 2 sons, both of whom are excellent fighters, and a twin sister said to be her equal in combat. Her first appearance in the series was in Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner, with her now iconic design in a black dress. She would then get an updated color palette in Soul Hackers 1. She would get a new sprite in Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, and one of the few demons that maintains her normal design in Devil Children. Despite only having one major design, it's still an iconic and powerful demon across the franchise. Welcome to Megami May. The whole month will be dedicated to the Megami Tensei race in the Megami Tensei series. Today's episode is about Pallas Athena. Athena is the Greek goddess of wisdom, courage, inspiration, civilization, philosophy, justice, law, mathematics, strength, arts, crafts, weaving, and skill and reason. She sprung from Zeus's forehead fully armored after he swallowed her mother, Metis. She represents just decisions and strategic warfare, and is the only goddess allowed to carry Zeus's thunderbolts. She led battles as the disciplined, strategic side of war, in contrast to her brother Ares, the patron of violence, bloodlust, and slaughter. Although given the name Athena, she adopted the name of her friend Pallas after killing him in battle. It was at this time that Zeus gave her the Aegis, a piece of armor capable of protecting her from all evil and disaster. She was depicted crowned with a crested helm, armed with a shield and a spear. She is commonly shown accompanied by her sacred animal, the owl. She is the virgin patron of the Athens. Her first appearance was in Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner, with her only design as a demon. She got an updated color palette in Soul Hackers 1. She has gotten 3 unique sprites across the first 3 Persona games and obtained her first 3D models in Shin Megami Tensei Imagine. Despite only having one design as a demon, she does have a unique design as a persona. And while she's not my favorite demon across the series, she's still an amazing goddess and represented well. In Hinduism, Sati was Shiva's first wife, who married Shiva against her father Daksha's will. She killed herself via self-immolation out of protest against her father not inviting her or Shiva to a sacrifice. She was reincarnated as Parvati, Shiva's second wife. A ritual known as Sati, which the widow is burned alive on her deceased husband's funeral pyre, was named after the goddess. In terms of appearances in the Megami Tensei series, her first appearance was in Persona 1 with a unique design. Her second appearance in SMT3 Nocturne is where she was given her current design. This design does pay perfect homage to her history, and it's an amazing design to see in-game. In Buddhism and Hinduism, Kanari is the female equivalent of Kamnara. Described as half human, half horse, and half bird, now the math really works out on that one, they are said to sing songs filling heaven with music. If you grab the wings of a Kanari as they are bathing, it's said that you can have her as your wife. In the Megami Tensei series, their design has stayed relatively consistent across the games. In all versions of SMT1, they have the same design, as well as Shin Megami Tensei 9 and Imagine. They got slightly updated designs in Shin Megami Tensei If and Last Bible 3, being a recolor in Majin Tensei. Their design is acceptable for what the demon is, but it's a little sad that their design doesn't show their bird influence. Fortuna, also known as Fortune, is the Roman goddess of luck and chance. She's famously known for her wheel that she spins randomly to decide the fates of others. Her presence and cultural significance was strong enough that when the Roman religion was displaced by Christianity, Fortuna and her wheel continued into the European literature and into the modern era. Fortuna has only had one design in the entire Megami Tensei series. She was introduced in Soul Hackers. Despite only having one design, it perfectly encapsulates her and does justice to this goddess. Sasori Hime is the daughter of Susanoo, and eventually the wife of Okononushi. She met Okononushi while searching for Susanoo in the Netherworld. She fell for him quickly, leading them becoming an item. Susanoo disapproved of the romance and tried to kill Okononushi. a lot. After several attempts to take Okuninushi's life, Susanoo eventually gave them his blessing, allowing them to be married. Sasori Hime only has one design and one appearance in the Megami Tensei series, that being in Giten Megami Tensei, where her design is a recolor of Ame no Uzume. As sad as it is that she didn't get her own design, there isn't much to work with her, but I would like to see her in a future game. Ishtar is the Eastern Semitic name for Inanna, a Mesopotamian goddess of love and war, who is also associated with the planet Venus. Like Inanna, she wasn't considered a mother goddess, and few, if any, texts name any gods that are her children. She is known as the Queen of Heaven and is the personification of the morning star, that is Venus. Rather than being a mere renaming of Inanna, though it is likely that they were synchronized because they had names that already resembled each other beforehand. The name Ishtar being an Eastern Semitic form of a Proto-Semitic divine name, which was used by Semitic-speaking peoples to refer to a deity closely associated with Venus, like Alstar and Aestar. Istar? I'm not looking it up, but the connections are very weak. Her first appearance was in Shin Megami Tensei 2, with a major story role. Then, she appeared in If with a slightly different color palette, and was a giant narrative character in Giten Megami Tensei, with a much more revealing design, that I'm probably going to censor. She had a unique design in Majin Tensei 2, Rond, and Persona 1. Surprisingly, she managed to keep her main design in Devil Children. What do you think of this heavenly goddess that sways a little too close to Sin? Apsaris is a type of female water spirit in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. They appear in the form of a young, beautiful woman who have mastered the fine arts of celestial dance, and are known to entertain the gods and fallen heroes. Dancing in the divine palace to music made by their husbands, they are residents of Svarga, that is, a heaven, and are attendants to the god Indra. Their first appearance in Megami Tensei 2 and Shin Megami Tensei 1 and 2, as well as Majin Tensei, are all recolors. She would have a sprite in Devil Children and Rond. Her first unique design would be given to her in Soul Hackers 1. This design was very short-lived, as in Shin Megami Tensei 3, she would get her now standard design. Tell me what you guys think. Do you like her Soul Hackers design? Or is it a good thing she immediately got a new one? Tasseltael is the Aztec goddess of purification, steam baths, midwives, filth, and the patron of adulterers. She was known as the goddess of sin. However, she's also a purification goddess. Her many names have translations in different languages, such as She Who Eats Filth, the Death Caused by Lust, and She of Two Faces. She has appeared in Persona 1 with a basic-looking succubus design, and in Soul Hackers 1, where she got a unique design of a beautiful goddess climbing out of a toilet. While the design does make sense, I think it's shit. I think such an interesting goddess deserves another chance. And upon the heavens, Amaterasu, also known as Amaterasu Okami, is the sun goddess in the Japanese mythology, and is one of the central deities of Shinto. One of the three noble children of Izanagi, alongside Susanoo and Tsukuyomi, she is most commonly said to have born from Izanagi's left eye during his purification following his return from Yomi. Alternative traditions describe her as being deliberately created to rule heaven, or emerging from a mirror held by Izanagi. There are many ways this goddess came to be. In the Shin Megami Tensei series, her first appearance was in Shin Megami Tensei 1, 2, and If, though they were recolored sprites, even though in Shin Megami Tensei 2, she obtained a unique design. After the unique artwork was created, it was used in almost every game she appears in, except Majin Tensei 2, Devil Children, Fire Book and Ice Book, and SMT3. Her design in Shin Megami Tensei 3 is a male appearance. The design was intended to be more androgynous, due to the usual belief that Amaterasu is female, but it did not end up as such because of the convenience of making the model. Black Maria. Mary is the mother of Jesus Christ, according to Christianity and Islam. Christians teach that she miraculously conceived the Holy Spirit, according to Christianity. According to the Gospel of Luke, Mary was visited by the angel Gabriel, who told her of her conception of Christ, the Son of God. She was visited by her cousin Elizabeth, and Elizabeth greeted her as the blessing among women and the mother of the Lord. Marian devotion is an aspect of several Christian denominations, and she enjoys a status above all other saints as hyperdulia due to giving birth to the Son of God. She is called the Theotokos, which literally means God-bearer in childbirth, and is usually paraded in English as the Mother of God. Another frequent epithet of Mary, especially in Western Christianity, is the Queen of Heaven. This is derived from her relationship with Jesus Christ. Black Maria's design is based on the depictions of Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ, with dark skin. Official Megami Tensei profiles claim that such a depiction originates from the worship of Earth Mother goddesses, though there is no way to prove this statement. Black Maria's veil, along with the demon being Black Maria, rather than just Mary, is because the thought of having the Virgin Mary being outright used was not acceptable. Her first appearance was in Devil Summoner, and had a changed color palette in Soul Hackers 1. Isis is the Egyptian goddess of magic and wisdom, also worshipped by the Greeks and the Romans. She temporarily resurrected her brother and husband Osiris's body from the dead after he was murdered by Set. She did this by collecting his remains across Egypt and assembling his destroyed body. This made Isis a protector of the deceased in Egyptian mythology. Through her cunningness and craftsmanship, she used saliva from Ra to create a snake poison to kill him, and granted rule to either Horus or Osiris, depending on the myth. Her first appearance in the Megami Tensei series was in Majin Tensei 1. It also appeared in its sequel with another new design. She then obtained designs in Last Bible, Devil Children, and the Persona 2 duology. She only obtained her now iconic design in Shin Megami Tensei 9. This design has been used ever since the introduction, excluding one game, where she is Yukari Takaba's ultimate persona in Persona 3. Maria. Mary is the mother of Jesus Christ according to Christianity and Islam. These religions teach that she miraculously conceived the Holy Spirit according to Christianity. This interpretation of the Virgin Mary is a bit different and is not a literal depiction of her dignified design. This was created by an AI representation of her from the Messiah Church in the Megami Tensei series. The disc above her head comes from her coding, and the change binding her to the human soul and her black clothes were specifically chosen to reference Black Maria. And her now commonly design was claimed to be reminiscent of other mother goddesses that have been absorbed into her depictions. Idun. The Norse goddess associated with aspects such as youth and vitality, known particularly for her role as the keeper of the golden apples that grant eternal life to the gods of Asgard, and being the wife of Bragi. The story of Idun is primarily found in the Poetic Edda, specifically in the poem The Language of Poetry. Loki was being forced to work with the giant Thiazi to lure Idun out of Asgard. After she was led away, she was kidnapped, and the gods began to age. They worked together with Loki in order to save her and kill Thiazi. Idun is a new demon in the series, with her first appearance being in Shin Megami Tensei 5, with her now iconic design. She has a resemblance to the typical Japanese idol, and her movements and specifically her unique skill and idol animations. They were inspired by that of an idol. Makayuki Doi said that these decisions were inspired by the idea that she would likely be popular among all the gods who would woo her for her apples. Her outfit was designed to resemble traditional Nordic attire, with several Scandinavian, specifically Norwegian, garments. Anat is a Levantine goddess, and is the daughter of El and Aetheret. She has been portrayed as a huntress, hunting together with her mother Aetheret. Anat is also the goddess of war, birth, death, and the mistress of wild animals, who is also associated with love and sex. In mythical texts, she is famous for having a violent temperament and taking joy in slaughter. In some texts, Baal is said to be her brother and/or her husband. Her first appearance in the series was in Rond, but after that appearance, she then appeared in Devil Summoner with her current design. She then obtained her current color palette in Soul Hackers 1. Brigid is a figure in medieval Irish folklore, and she was presumably a deity in the pre-Christian religion of Ireland. She is a member of the People of God, a group of supernatural beings said to have lived in Ireland before the arrival of the ancestors of the Irish. Brigid is the sole daughter of Dagda, and she is in association with smithing, hearth, poetry, and healing. Her name means exalted in Old and Middle Irish. Her first appearance in the Megami Tensei series was in Majin Tensei 2, with a very generic-looking design. She would then appear in Persona 1 with a design that looked very close to what she would eventually get. Her appearance in Giten Megami Tensei went back to looking a bit generic, and then in Devil Summoner she obtained her current design, where she wears an iron gauntlet on her right hand in order to protect her from burns as the art designer. Cosmoconico compares this to wearing rubber gloves while doing the dishes, with the symbols on the pot resembling Germanic runes, though they do not appear to form any actual words. Cleopatra, more specifically Cleopatra VII, her name means glory of the father in Greek. She is unique among the Megami race as she is a historical figure rather than a mythological one. She was the ruler and effectively the last pharaoh of Egypt, as after her death, Egypt fell under the rule of the Roman Empire. Cleopatra's first appearance in the series was in Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, where she was designed by Makayuki Doi. Doi stated that he struggled designing Cleopatra due to her being a historical figure, so he exaggerated proportions of her body and gave her a pale complexion, to incorporate stories of her with snakes coiled around her arms and stories of her using snakes for her suicide. Anahita is an ancient Iranian goddess associated with the waters. Like several other Iranian deities, she would be incorporated into Zoroastrianism as a Yazada. She is identified with the Aban, or the waters, and is thus a river deity responsible for fertility, and she was benevolent to all who worshipped her and stern to those who did not. She was both the god and the source of the world river. She tended to be conflated with the systemic goddess Ishtar and linked to Sarasvati. Her first appearance in the series was in Majin Tensei 2 with a generic-looking design. She then appeared in Giten Megami Tensei with a recolored design. She obtained her current design in Strange Journey Redux, and has continued to use this design in all games moving forward. Artemis is the Greek goddess of hunting, wilderness, animals, and chastity. Her symbols are deer, bows, arrows, and the moon. She is the daughter of Zeus and Leto. Artemis was born with her twin brother, the god Apollo. Her Roman equivalent is Diana, where she was conflated with the lunar goddess Selene. In Egyptian culture, she was identified with the goddess Bastet. Artemis is revered as a hunter, with her primary weapon being the bow. Her designs and appearances throughout the Megami Tensei series are, definitely interesting, with her first design being based on a statue located at one of her temples, and the design is not great. Her second design would be a recolor of Diana's design, which is also reminiscent of that statue, but at least this time she had a bow. And then she finally got a good design in Shin Megami Tensei 5, where she was designed to be more of a magical girl. I personally believe that her best design is from Persona 2, where she is Maya Amano's ultimate persona. Demeter is the Greek goddess of harvest and agriculture. She is the second eldest child of the Titans Kronos and Rhea. Like her siblings, she was eaten by her father immediately upon birth out of fear of them surpassing him. She and the others were freed by their youngest sibling, Zeus, who then joined forces to upsert the Titans. Demeter is notable as the mother of Persephone, with Zeus as the father. When her daughter was shipped off to the underworld without her knowledge or approval, Demeter refused to allow anything to grow, resulting in mass starvation, killing many. Throughout the Megami Tensei series, Demeter has appeared a few times, with her first appearance being in Rond, and then she appeared in the Persona 2 duology. She then got her current design in Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux, where she was designed to look childlike to make the players question her innocence. I'm not a big fan of this design, mostly because of that age. If you aged up her design, it'd probably be perfect. Izanami is the Megami, as she is the namesake of the series. Izanami is a goddess in Shintoism and is responsible, along with her husband and brother Izanagi, for the creation of Japan by raising the land out from the sea. She is the mother of many deities. However, when giving birth to the god Kagetsuchi, the flames of her child burnt her to death. After her death, she was sent to Yomi, where Izanami went to search for her. He tried to bring her back, but at that point she had already consumed the food of Yomi, so she was forbade from leaving. When Izanami saw his rotting wife, he fled and sealed the entrance. Screaming with rage, Izanami swore that she would end the lives of 1,000 every day, where Izanagi countered with the statement that he will create 1,500 lives each day. After leaving Yomi, Izanagi performed a cleansing ritual that gave birth to 3 gods, Amaterasu, Tsukiyomi, and Susanoo. Due to this, these 3 deities are also considered the children of Izanami. Her first appearance in the entire franchise was from the original Digital Devil story Megami Tensei novel, where Yumiko is her reincarnation. She then appeared in the sequel game Megami Tensei 2 with a new design, and then appeared once more in Shin Megami Tensei 2 as a post-game demon. She would appear in Majin Tensei 1 as a recolor, and have appearances in the Persona 2 duology. She would get her most commonly used design in Shin Megami Tensei 9. Despite that fact, she went unused in Shin Megami Tensei 9. She is a secret in SMT3, where the Demi-Fiend completes the burial chambers. On New Game Plus, Cerberus will send him to an inaccessible floor, where he'll be able to meet the spirits of Izanagi and Izanami, who will give him their strength and allow him to use it to their fullest. Izanami is the true goddess reincarnation, and her namesake is the series as a whole. Once again, I thank you all for stopping in and enjoying everything that's to be said about this video. Now that this monumental task has been finished, I'm looking forward to having new content out soon. But with that being said, like and subscribe, and let me know what you want the next video to be.